What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Today's going to be a reaction or more of a commentary, not so much of an analysis. I think this is going to be more of a commentary, maybe explaining certain things that people might not understand of the BTS of All Too Well. A lot of you guys wanted to see a reaction to this, wanted to see almost like a deeper understanding of her directorial decisions, how she approaches her work behind the camera. So without further ado, let's take a look.
I think she should be in the door. We don't want to see her walk in the door. She should be in already.
In it.
Yeah, so that's what we need to do. We need even faster on Dylan, and then Sadie's right there.
Something really interesting that she's doing here, it's something that happens in film. To put it simply, when you're writing a story in your mind or in paper, and like in this case, basing it off of something that happened, maybe in real life or maybe in your head, that story takes a full year, few months, few days to develop. But since in this case and also in film, you're tied down to a specific runtime or, like her case, a piece of music, you need to shorten it down. And you're forced to allow the mind to fill in the gaps. Like she's saying here, she needs to be already kind of like getting through the door. We don't really need to see her, grab the doorknob, turn it, pull it. She walks through the door. But since we see her already walking through the door, your mind feels between the gaps. And that's something that's seen a lot in film and that people exercise it a lot, especially if you're an editor. In editing, you need to cut a lot in betweens so your mind fills in the gaps and you can shorten the time. W directors, W editors.
One. Yes. Yes.
Oh my god, I love this. As a director, when you get the shot, it's literally just such a cool feeling. And you could see it on her eyes. She was like over the moon. She was like, oh my god, yes, perfect timing.
Like you guys have like the kind of natural chemistry that like comes around once in a lifetime. Laughing in the middle of it, but it's also got like the elements of like physical chemistry. Try it a few different ways.
All right.
There's two things happening here. She's giving them a lot of direction as to, hey, listen, this is what it feels like, but at the same time, make it yours. And that's why she's being like, try it a few different ways, see what feels best, but this is the vibe we're supposed to depict. This is what it's supposed to feel like. Make it yours. And I feel like those moments are where magic happens on set. It's when actors and actresses are able to input their own emotions, because a lot of times, and yes, there's different ways of approaching this, but a lot of times when actors are acting and they're trying to depict specific emotions or specific situations, they're pulling for personal references and things that have happened to them previously in life, and having the creative liberty of being an active part in this makes a huge difference. And I feel like that's what differentiates a really good actor versus, a mid one. The ability to transforming what the director wants into something tangible. That's when magic happens.
That's beautiful. Now laugh.
That's awesome. So for you guys that don't know what we're seeing here, it's Taylor. She's holding a director's monitor. She's getting a feed from the camera so she could see in real time what's happening. Right on her right, on her left here, we have what I think it's the director of photography, because she had a meter. And then we have the operator. And then we have the second AC, which is the guy helping the operator. I just noticed too that right here on this guy right here, it's probably a PA, someone helping the production. And this person right here sitting in the back, my guess, it's a script supervisor or something similar to that, which is the person who makes sure that we're getting all the shots that we need and making sure that we're sticking to what's on paper.
You've given up. I think you've like,
So just so you guys know, this is actually like a small production. And yes, it's a ton of people, but it's not for it being what it is. I think this is a pretty small production. What we see here behind Sadie, it's the video village. This is kind of like where the director will sit and look at the monitor. Here we have our Steadicam, which I mentioned in my video. It's someone strapped with a camera to stabilize it. In short, we have the AC, which is the guy helping him. and then we have the guy who's holding Taylor's monitor, which is probably a first AD, first assistant director of sorts. This guy on pink, which is probably in some sort of like PA, and then the back we probably have grips, which are the guys putting all the stands together, lights and all that fun stuff.
Wow.
You know?
She's doing something really cool, which is reenacting what she wants them to do. And I don't know if this is after they've already given it a shot and this is her giving them feedback, but in whatever case, you could tell that this is something that's really close to her heart. She knows exactly what she wants, which is great. Like if you're a director, when you get on set, what you want, you want a clear idea of what you're going to shoot, and that's and what it's going to look like at the end. A lot of times people shoot for the edit. So whether you're doing that or not, having a clear idea of what you want, it's great because it's going to make your editing way easier, and the final product, it's going to look exactly what you want it to look like. So W, organization, W, knowing what you want.
Yeah. And you cut it in our vision. I'm telling the Legoland.
So this thing on the back, it's a tent. This is like a darkroom tent. So what they're doing here behind Dylan, the actor, what you see there, that's like a mini tent. They use that to kind of like load the film into the big cartridges, the magazines they're called, but you have to load them in the dark. So that's why they have that tent, and they have like this little kind of like inserts where you push your hands through them, and that way you can operate it completely in the dark, but you can't see anything, which is a tricky part. But this is also confirmation that they shot this in film. Not that we didn't know, but just pointing out interesting things that I see. Another thing to mention, it's Taylor, it's one more time showing them exactly what she wants. Again, she was there. She knows what happened. This is very close to her. And even if this is something that's to be out of her imagination, her being physical and being kind of like, super on top of it tells you that she has a very clear idea of what this is supposed to look like.
Because we want to see it on the table. It's in front of fucking everyone that you do this. That's why it's so embarrassing.
I can tell that this really like effed her up when it happened in real life.
Like kind of put it down, back down on the table. Because we want to see it on the table. It's in front of fucking everyone that you do this. That's why it's so embarrassing.
By the way, the actor, I think his name is Dylan. Dude, he seems like such a chill dude. And that tells you that he's a really good actor. Because when I saw him on the film, I was like, this guy's an ass.
And they're going to have a moment of disconnect, but you don't even need to notice it at all. You guys are just having like the best time at this dinner party. Excellent, Sadie. Now let's go back to everybody is having a great time. Let's cover
Before we hear this direction of Taylor, something to point out, this is a very technical observation, but they're using book light, which is like a really, really, really soft light, which is part of the quality of why this film looks so soft, other than the fact that they shot it on film. But they're using book light. If you see here on the left, we have this sky panel, which is this type of light that they're using right here on the left. And then you see that it's pointed opposite from the talent, and that's to make it soft. So what they're doing, it's book light, which is pointing the light to a source and then having that source bounce back through the bounce board and the wall, that you can notice that it's also like a light color. I don't know if it's gray or white, but I think white. So what they're doing is they're having the light bounce twice, and then it hits the talent, because I believe the talent is diagonal from Taylor. So it's hitting the wall and the bounce board, and then it's hitting the talent just about by the way the light bounces. And it has such a soft quality because it's very similar to the way we perceive life.
Dylan is peak charisma.
Peak charisma. I love it.
Tell more stories, Dylan.
So this is cool because since we're dealing with something that has music on the back, aka a music video, you can yell out directions while they're acting. So they have the ability to kind of like reassess in the moment. I love a director that's like involved and that intervenes. A lot of times you gotta kind of like gauge it a little bit, but again, clear directions make it better film, in my opinion.
Hey guys, I'm gonna give Dylan one punchline to say, and then you all die laughing, okay? The punchline is, and it was my foot, okay?
When we open it up, and it's my foot.
Aside from the book light that I already explained, they also have a lantern light on the top, which is a giant softbox to kind of like replicate, like, you know, the type of lighting that we usually have at homes and apartments and that type of stuff, which is like top lighting. But they're doing it in a way that's super soft because they're lighting it with like a really, really high quality light. Probably, I'm going to assume, a grid of sky panels. And they're doing a skirt that's keeping the light concentrated in the middle. And that just kind of creates like this very unique like film light that, again, it's just a replicate of what we see in real life, but obviously with much higher quality. And this is kind of like giving us like that general lighting, and we're having that book light be motivated by these fixtures right here on the right. I know this, I'm being super technical with this, but I just find it really interesting.
That was perfect. That was literally perfect cut. We have what we need.
We don't like overshooting, so W, not overshooting. If you have what you need, move on to the next shot. Time on set, it's really expensive and really precious.
I'm going to tell you where your cue is to put the cake down. It's all to music. So once we get it right, mixed with the performance, we're golden.
This is really key, what she's saying right here. So there's multiple ways of kind of like directing music videos, and I've found myself doing both. There's a lot of people that are literally shooting like bit by bit. So you're watching the video already edited in your head, and you know exactly in which part, which scene's gonna go. And a lot of times you have even specific like cues to specific parts of the music. And then there's other people that kind of like divide it in segments, right? Then we have like scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. And then you know that scene 1, it's gonna be kind of like for the chorus. Then you're gonna have a general scene that you're gonna repeat after the first chorus, and then you have verse 2, and then chorus 3. It's probably going to be a mix of all the previous ones, and you might introduce something new. The difficult part of doing what she's doing is that it requires even more planning, even more organizational skills, because you need to walk into set having such an exact measurement of what part it's going to go where, that you need to make sure you're getting everything you need to get. And this is super important because usually if you're filming something, you're renting a location, you're renting a compound where you build your sets, you're renting a house, an apartment, whatever the case might be, but you rent those based on time. And all of that comes from a budget, right? You have this budget that you need to allocate to all those different departments. This is all to say that you have a specific set of hours available for you to shoot that you can afford, and you need to make sure you get everything that you have on paper. And that's why she keeps referencing her phone, because she probably has a shot list and she probably has notes as to what shot goes where in the song. So you need to make sure that everything that you have here needs to be met, because if not, you don't have a video. And that's the difficult part about doing it the way she's doing it, which is not rare. A lot of people do it like that, but not with the 10-minute song. So again, very ambitious. We also need to point out the fact that she has, you know, this massive infrastructure that allows her to, you know, extend the days of set if needed, or get more budget if needed. But nonetheless, W, planning.
It's going to be loud.
So you see, she's showing them specifically which part of the song the cue kind of like comes in.
Cake down on the word come.
This can also be indicative of the fact that they probably had a storyboard for this. If you don't know what a storyboard is, quick explanation. You write the film, or you write whatever music video you're going to shoot, and then you have someone kind of like draw each frame, so you get a visual of what this is going to look like. And then even a further step into this, it's an animatic, which is animating that storyboard. It doesn't necessarily need to move, but it's just timing out how long each shot's going to be on screen, so you get a sense of how much you need to shoot. That's kind of like the ultimate way of doing it, and the ideal, because, you know, there's no guessing. But I don't know if they did that for this film. I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
C. a falseness to your smile. It should be contrasted by how real your smile in the last shot was.
Oh,
Oh my god!
she's feeling it. Love it.
That was amazing. This is a moment where there's a lot more movement. It's a much more. It's not as still and slow.
I might be butchering this. I think her name is Rena Yang. This is the DP for sure.
Keeping a pace of movement.
Because you see how she's letting her know how she wants the camera to move, because that move, it's gonna generate some sort of like feeling or sensation to the viewer.
Sadie, walk towards camera looking and go past us if you can.
By the way, this already answered one of the questions that I had when I filmed the video. I was wondering if during this era she had, dyed her hair red, and I'm seeing that. I think it's a wig. I guess we'll see. She's not rocking it here though. Oh, there we have her.
Of this, because I want to see the move-in of all the life and the people sitting down, and ideally she blows up the candles on turning point.
So what we're seeing here, it's her giving directions to the editor. I don't know if this is the final edit or maybe these are dailies. Dailies, if you don't know what they are, it's once you get the film developed, they send you almost like a low resolution string out mini cut, like a progress edit of sorts, where you can basically review, say what you like, say what you don't, decide which shots you like. That's kind of like the purpose of the daily. So when it's time to fully edit, you already have some of the job already done.
I love seeing all the birthday activity.
And he said it's supposed to be fun, turning 21.
I want that to be it. Like we're watching a person lose an element of innocence and naivete. We're watching her figure out how to turn it into something. Like we're watching a person come of age.
Yeah.
Oof, that gave me goosebumps and everything. That ending, that's crazy. But yeah, what we saw right there in the end was her giving directions to the editor so he could get a better sense as to what this should feel like and what she wants this to kind of like be the big takeaway. Like, hey, we're seeing someone who had like this idealized version of what it should be, but then she realized that it wasn't, and that's okay. And that's part of growing up. That's why we're seeing her evolve into like this completely new person. And I think that's beautiful. That's a beautiful takeaway. And this is a beautiful way to end it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this breakdown helped a little bit. I know a lot of you guys gave me some feedback as to the pausing and how to kind of like intervene, pay a little bit more of attention to the lyrics. And I promise you I will do that on the next one, whether it's Taylor or some other artist in the channel. You can probably see that I talk a lot about film. I talk a lot about direction, not only from music videos, but also kind of like part of my process. And it was beautiful to see that a lot of what I do on set and offset too, a part of the pre-production, I can already tell that she exercises a lot of that too. And it makes me think that, it's possible for anyone to do what she's doing at the level she's doing it with the right budget. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you guys like this, drop a comment. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Let me know what you think about making this BTS section a separate video, or if I should have it be part of the OG reaction. In whatever case, guys, if you guys don't know me, my name is Gara. I'm a multidisciplinary artist here in LA. You can check out some of my work on Instagram. You can check me out on Twitter, Threads, TikTok. Go to my website if you want to check out my work. I have some merch there and everything if you guys want to support it. If not, just leave a comment, sub up. That means the world to me. Sub up, like up. See you guys on the next one. Peace.